I hate Satanists. But I wasn't always like this. In fact, I was indifferent about pagans, witches, ghouls, whatever other nonsense would never be mentioned near a textbook. But a few weeks ago, my chat and I were poking around a few pagan subreddits looking for videos of grown adults attempting to cast spells, when we came across the subreddit for some satanic groups that had private discords. So I knew I had to get in and get a personal demonstration of magic from one of their seasoned veterans. The only problem is, I figured if I joined as myself, they might not be as receptive. So I decided to make a fake Discord account and pose as somebody else. And surely a college-educated individual such as myself would be able to get past whatever screening processes they could think of. So we set up an account. I decided on the name Arda because I like Arda Guler, and my chat helped me with the bio and the rest of the profile. Add they? No, I'm not gonna steal trans clout or trans valor. What would the term be here? I'm not gonna lie like that. You want to get in, don't you? Yeah. Do I really have to? Can I be he, they? What do I say? I'm just like not super into like the whole sexuality or like gender thing. Like, what do I say? Say you're ace. What's ace? Okay, you know what? Let's settle. Okay? Let's settle. I'm gonna be he, him. But I'm gonna add that ace sexual thing you said. Ace 24, ask to DM. Oh my god, dude, you're so clean. You're so clean with it. Jesus. Once we had the account set up, it was time to actually join the Discord, and I was decently surprised with how thorough their screening process was. Off the bat, new members were expected to put in an introduction message and then also engage them in conversation in their gateway chat. Basically, they just want you to pass whatever imaginary checklist they thought of in their head before they let you in. And my process took just a little bit longer than I thought it would. Oh, someone's typing. Yes, someone's typing. Yes. No, wait. You gotta play the waiting game. No, you gotta play the waiting game. You gotta play the waiting. Look. If you get a girl's number, you can't just, if you text her once, you don't respond. You don't just hop back in. They want me, okay? They want me. They are so sad. They want me, okay? I can feel it. I don't need to press my luck here. You're in our gateway. While we get to know you a little bit, would you mind writing up an introduction in our introductions and picking some roles and roles? Hi, I'm 18. I've been interested in spirituality, witchcraft, and all its forms since I was 12, along with interest in everything creepy and unusual for as long as I can remember. I felt called to Satanism since early 2024, but I'm a lazy fuck and never knew where to start with research. I've been doing spells and praying for years, but float in and out of my interest in these topics. I really want to lock in this time and incorporate my beliefs into a daily life. I'm sorry, man, you're not going to college. Okay, so everyone else is doing like a name, age type thing, and then like what they're into. This guy's into astral projection, tulpomancy, which I don't even know what that is, chaos magic, sigil work, communing with demon lords and goddesses through their heads. Talking about this on Reddit, I didn't really understand, but it felt extremely familiar to me, so I decided to find out more, and that led me here. Is this good? Can I fucking send? Think I got everything. What drew me to Satanism? What was familiar? Okay. The longer I wait, the worse this is. That's just... Look, I like Waffles is typing now. Waffles is typing now, guys. This is what I'm fucking saying. Waffles is like, he doesn't see... I was wondering what you meant by... This... You can't... Dude, how did they had me beat with one question. they had me beat with one question. That's crazy. They put me in checkmate with one fucking question. Okay, let's just think. But it never felt right. Started exploring on YouTube/Reddit, and this felt more... It felt closer, so I'm just here to learn more. Pretty confusing trying to piece it all together myself. They messaged. Oh Everyone shut the fuck up. Everyone shut the fuck up. Everyone shut the fuck up. Theistic Satanism as a whole gets pretty confusing because there's many forms of it, as there are theistic Satanists, and you'll definitely not be alone having grown up and left Christianity. Let's fucking go, boys. Yes, I do want to fuck. That's what he said right there. Yes, I would like to fuck as quickly as possible. You might be cooking. We'll see. It's a gambit, right? Again, this guy's trying to vibe check me as well as trying to preach to me a little bit, right? If I can just stay on the it's like a video game where you have different like option dialogues, and it's like, okay, this one's like the logic route, this one's like the appeal to emotion, this one's just the bad option. You never pick the bad option, right? But this guy doesn't like logic. He doesn't want to hear anything logical. He just wants me to say, I don't know anything. Please teach me, master. He's cooking as well as the bacon stream. You said bacon cone. It's bacon. It's bacon. Oh, he said oh question mark. Overcooked. Just a reminder, our server's 1-year anniversary is this Friday. We'll be having a party in the voice chat. I literally couldn't have asked for a better situation. They're having a party. I can get them all in one place. Dude, have they ever had this many people weigh in on a fucking vibe check before? First of all, the idea of a satanic group doing a vibe check, fucking hilarious, right? So after we finally made it in, I decided to end stream and poke around a little bit more offline. Besides like the normal general text channels they had, they also had divination, heresy, prayers, which had some pretty special gems, including this one that reads, Mammon, King of Prosperity, your infernal name rings like silver bells, decadent and flowering, ripe with the fruits of wealth. Your hymn rumbles off my tongue, potent, infallible. Teach me in your ways, O Mammon, to reap happily the heavy crops of which I've sown. And then it goes on for a lot longer, but I'm not going to read all that. Now, I kind of feel like I'm bagging on this community a little bit, so let me just say everyone in here is extremely nice and compassionate. There were many posts of people going through hard times and tons of support shown. People would share artwork or they made pictures of their lives, and it honestly seems like a very friendly group to be in. But they made me wait for over an hour and a half in the Gateway channel. So I'ma get mine, and mine's is a magic demonstration from somebody in here. But I kind of figured no one would be down to just give me a demonstration over video when they never knew me before, so I kind of have to ease them into it. So I went through a bunch of the profiles of the users in the Discord and narrowed down my search criteria. I was looking for someone who had 3 tags: magic tags, DMs open, and 18+. Because I don't target kids, I'm not Mossad. I ended up settling for a couple mods and one member who had been around for a few years. After some polite messaging, I was able to get introductory material for theistic Satanism and chaos magic, which at the very least would give me something to talk about at the gathering coming up. Now I think it's a good time to mention that I spent a lot of time reading a lot of the material in this Discord, like an unhealthy amount. I went to college and they told me to read stuff and I didn't do it. Like, I paid my college $30,000, they told me to read stuff, and then I didn't do it. But I sat down and read all of this, and now it's in my brain, so it's gotta be in yours too. Now, the resource channel is exhaustive, to say the least. It was hard to know which ones would be the most entertaining to read. I picked out a few titles on different subjects, such as divination, demonology, and some general history stuff. I'm not gonna take you through all of this, but I think it's an important note to make that all of these authors are really bad at writing, like shockingly bad. As an untalented writer, I can tell you firsthand this is bad writing, and that would be okay if they didn't just talk down to people in their writing. For example, in Paths to Satan by Martin McGregor, the author starts by basically saying if you think all Satanists worship the deity Satan, you're stupid and ill-informed. And I just can't begin to wonder where people would get that idea. Besides that, there was the satanic equivalent to the 10 Commandments, the 9 satanic statements, which at best read as a slight to the church using the word instead in 6 of the 9 statements, of which the 9th one being, Satan is the best friend the church ever had. He has kept them in business all these years. Besides that, there was one interesting section on something called bioelectricity. You know, bioelectric fields created by all living things, the potential there is to control and direct that energy. This is the fundamental principle to most kinds of magic and witchcraft, regardless of religion or creed. Those aren't my words. That's what it says in the book. Now, this seemed like the perfect thing to ask for a demonstration on, but when I asked about this in the Discord, they brushed it off and said it's not something a lot of them really believe in. Like, bro, you recommended the source. Why are the goalposts moving? So I turned my attention to another source that taught you magic from beginner all the way to advanced over 3 volumes. I only ended up reading the first and the third volume because I kind of figured it was like a Lord of the Rings thing where the middle one kind of just sucks, so I just skipped it entirely. Basically, the process is learning how to reach a state of unconscious consciousness, and in this state, you can cast spells, do rituals, etc., etc. Now, to get there, one must train extensively in meditation and mind fortification. Now, I didn't have years of my life to waste on something I know isn't going to work, so I just went back to the person who recommended it and asked them a few questions. Unfortunately, they also ended up being new at this form of magic, and they were just a few weeks into training. So that means I've struck out twice now trying to get someone to teach me more about magic, much less give me a demonstration. But I still had the gathering at the end of the week. Surely there they'd speak freely, do a ritual, prayer, chant, some sort of magic demonstration. So I decided to put it to the side. But I still checked in about once or twice a day, you know, reacted to some messages, sent some stuff in, asked some questions, you know, just to keep myself involved with the community so it wouldn't be weird when I joined at the party. Now, on the day of the party, I decided to go live, catch my chat up on everything that had happened, and join the party a little bit early, you know? So I wasn't the last one there. It'd make me feel weird. So once we got in there, I decided to hang back a little, settle in. There was some passionate argument that was going on when I joined, but I was so focused on the ceremonies that I didn't really pay attention. Now, I'll admit, we got off to a slow start, but after 20 minutes, something finally happened. Did you hear that? It was the sound of fucking nothing. Fucking nothing. They just sat there and did nothing. It was like the world's worst Xanax commercial. No ceremony, no rituals, no spells, nothing. They just sat there and drank. Oh my God. I tried everything. I tried talking. I tried a bottle. I tried starting an argument. Bigger bottle. Nothing would get through to these people. And I know it shouldn't matter, but there was 15 people there. Not a single one of them funny. Not one funny thing said in over an hour and 18 minutes I was in there. No jokes even attempted. It felt like a trip to the sick ward. And I know the reason no one casted any spells is because there's no such thing as magic. I get that. I know. But you still gotta give me something. I've wasted so much of my life on this. Yeah, 2 hours of being initiated, few days of conversation, 8 PDF books written, 10 YouTube video essays, and a 90-minute call with them, and I leave empty-handed. So yeah, I wasted a lot of my life, but I feel better knowing I wasted some of yours too. Goodbye.